So now I want you to take you to another program. The program also which many people are talking about, of going to Canada and to be able to become permanent resident, which we call PNP, or people call Provincial Nominee Program, visa program, or rather just Canada Provincial Nominee Program. I want to know, what is Canada Nominee Provincial Program, or Provincial Nominee Program, PNP, and what difference is with that one with the overall the express entry, and how does one person qualifies to go and get the Canada through the PNP program?
Okay. PNP is provincial nominations for Canada. And what happened so that we can have PNP is because the government realized that it's not everybody who is able to get express entry points, because it's not everybody who has got all these qualifications to attain at least 450 points. So what they did, they introduced these provincial nominations so that now, if you don't attain the 450 points, yes, the government you can apply to get nominated in the province, and when you get nominated in the province, that province is going to give you a free points of 600 points. It's going to give you 600 points for free. Once that province nominates you, they give you 600. So this 600, you're going to add them to the express entry, and you qualify now to get your permanent resident. So there is no particular province that will ever give you permanent resident. They don't have that authority. So whatever they are doing for you is just to promote you, is just to boost you, so that you can qualify to apply express entry. Okay.
So related to that, when you get permanent, you get the permanent residence through PNP, because the province gave you a boost of certain points to go to the express entry, to which is the kind of like a federal government from the provinces. Are you supposed to go to work with that province, or you can go to any other province?
Now you can imagine, even you, it's like EBM marries you, brings you to the US, you get papers, and then you decide to divorce him after he has helped you that much. So the express entry had not given you permanent resident. This province, let's say, for example, New Brunswick has helped you. They have given you provincial nominations, and then you decide to leave them and come to Ontario. Are you not unfair? Naturally. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing here. When a province nominates you, they require you to stay there for at least a minimum of 2 years. And they are wise. They know that after you have stayed somewhere for 2 years, you don't have anywhere else to go. You have started looking at houses in those areas, trying to think of how you can buy a home. You have found friends. So how are you going to start going to another province and start life afresh? So it's like they have tied you into that province, and that is their goal. Their goal is to help people to go to the provinces, and especially you find that the provinces that are small, the provinces that are way north, are the provinces that are easier to immigrate. Why? They have made it easier so that we all don't go to Ontario. We should not all go to Ontario. I live in Ontario personally. So they want you to go to Newfoundland. There's another, let me tell you, EBM, there's another province called Nunavut. That province, my friend, during summer, there's no darkness. They run 24 hours, sunshine 24 hours. Go and research. You can imagine how deep, how interior it is. That province is so cold. There are very few people that immigrate there. So they have made it easier for people to immigrate to Nunavut. So when a province nominates you, they require you to stay there. You may have forgotten something, EBM. There's something else called Rural Northern Immigration Pilot. For the rurals, it is the same as the provincial nominations. So we have got 11 rural communities that participate in nominating people into the rural communities. I live in one of the rural communities myself. So these are tiny rural areas. If you go to my channel, Joyce Kainas Canada, you're going to find a video I have done taking people around where I live. There are no people. We don't have people that live here. The population is so small because it is way north. It is in the village. And you're going to find that the services that they give even to the kids at school, like where my kids go to school, like now I just saw a phone call. Maybe they are calling to tell me something. You know, the services are so good. The schools have got, the government schools have got a lot of funds. The government has given them more funds than schools that are in Toronto. So you find that even the schools are so good, the roads are very good, the government resources are very good. Why? Because there's no competition, there's no grabbing. The houses are sparsely populated. The houses are cheap. People have started coming to buy houses in the rural because they have realized life here is very cheap. So there are those 11 communities. The same thing happens. So when my rural community nominates you, they give you 600 points, and then you take the 600 points to the express entry. Yes.
I mean, those are a lot of opportunities.
Yes. So many. That's not enough. We also have.
We are going to talk all of those, but like I'm just saying, like.
You see, there's so many. There's another one program called Atlantic Immigration Pilot. Atlantic. These are 4 provinces that are just surrounding the Atlantic Ocean, and this is the New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, you know, and Prince Edward. These provinces are also very easy to immigrate. Very easy. And if you go to my channel, you're going to find that these 4 provinces have been posting jobs. They have been posting jobs every other day. Even now, as we speak, they are offering jobs for transportation, forestry, fish industry, truck drivers, plumbers. They have those job postings, and I post them on my channel because they are making it easier for people to apply for jobs, because other provinces have made life so easy. People are applying jobs. They don't find. These ones are even having online conferences like webinars, where the employers come online to talk to foreigners, people who are outside Canada. Like now we have one coming up next month. You need to go check my video so that you attend that webinar. You talk to the recruiters and hear from them, ask them questions. These 4 provinces in particular, I always campaign for them. I live in Ontario, but I don't campaign for Ontario. I campaign for the 4 Atlantic provinces because they have made it so easy for immigrants. Ontario is still holding on to their things because they know everybody who is coming to Canada is coming to Ontario. And besides that, remember, now in these provinces, there are 2 ways that you can come through provinces. The first one is that either you have to get a job offer. There are those provinces that you're required to have a job offer. So this job offer is going to help you to increase your points for the provinces, because the provinces are also grading you according to points. And there are other provinces in Canada that do not require you to have job offer. We have got 5 provinces in Canada that do not require you to have a job offer. We have got New Brunswick, we have got Newfoundland, we have got Nova Scotia, we have got Prince Edward. All these provinces, they don't require you to have a job offer. These are the provinces that I'm always campaigning for. Because if a province does not require you a job offer, what else are you waiting for?
Make it easy for
yeah, just apply. It's just to apply. It's just to apply and you get nominated. And we're encouraging guys to understand, try to understand these systems. Watch our videos so that you understand, and then we can also help you to come.
So for those state provinces which you have to get a job, so on your own, you have to find if the companies which hire foreigners first to have a job offer, so that you can get to the final nomination from provinces to go to the express entry.
Yes. You need those points. They are going to give you points, free points.
But once
some
you get
provinces like Manitoba, you just need to know somebody there, even a friend, or a friend of a friend. So just know somebody. That person gives you 50 points, and 50 points push you into getting nominated to the province. So if you have a friend who lives in Manitoba, go look for them. Look for them, let them nominate you into the province, and you have got a leeway of immigrating to Canada through Manitoba province.
I'm really appreciating for all this information, because these are the things people should know.
Yes, thank you.
And
EBM.
all the time I tell people, when you have a dream to go overseas, don't confine yourself to one opportunity only. Open up, go to different countries. While you are there, you'll be in a position to see which one is better.
Yes.
So speaking of that, this takes me to international students.
Yes.
I have so much experience talking about international students, scholarships, even if you want to pay on your own education.
Yes.
But one of the things I tell people is when you have to make a decision, apply many universities, apply to many countries in such a way that if you get these opportunities, you are going to compare which one is better. Number one, do you want to go to stay there? Maybe to become permanent resident, or you just want to go there and study and come back, or do you want to go there, just go there for 1 year and come back? But if majority of us, we are taking education as a way to migrate to another country and stay there permanently, like myself, I came through education to America permanently. So I usually tell people education is one among the ways I can control, because if I apply 30, 50 universities, there is no way I cannot get even one. So Canada is the first country in my list. If I have to advise someone, either you are going to pay for your education or you go to scholarships to go. As long as if you want to stay in the first world country right after your studies. And you mentioned two things. One is the way you can be able to get express entry through after finishing your studies and work experience. You get more points. You have work experience in Canada. You have all those kind of things. But another thing you talked about, the post-study work permit. In the US, we have, many countries, it's just 1 year. So can you explain the post-studies work permit in Canada and what ways a international student, after finishing studies, can become a permanent resident of Canada? Sorry for longer explanation.
Yeah. That is a very good question, EBM, because I think I have not seen a country that has got a straightforward system for international students. You know, in most countries, the international student, after they graduate, they are left hanging. They don't know what to do, unless you are one of the students who are very chap, so that you find a company that is going to recruit you and then apply for your citizenship.
Exactly.
And you know, it's not all the companies that are willing to help you, because remember, this company is people. If somebody does not like you, they are not going to apply for you. So you are left hanging. You don't know what to do. So some of the times you're left hiding in that country for the rest of your life. And we don't want people to go through that. Yes. And I think that is what Canada has realized, and they have opened doors for international students. First of all, you have to know that international students in Canada pay like 5 times more than local students. So if you have got an option of choosing between coming to study and applying as a permanent resident, always apply for permanent resident. Because when you come as a permanent, let's say, for example, you have a degree. This is a very good example. If you have a degree and you want to come to Canada and study master, I will give you a good advice and tell you, don't come as an international student. Why? Yes. Because you have got a pathway for coming as a permanent resident. And when you come as a permanent resident, you will study in Canada as a permanent resident. A permanent resident in Canada is a citizen in Canada. There is no difference. So you are going to be given grants to go to study. You're going to be given loans. Your school fees, let me tell you some of the programs here, like for undergraduate. You find that a local permanent resident or Canadian citizen is paying $2,000 per semester, and an international student is paying $30,000 Canadian. How many times is that? Not even 5. It's more than 5 times. So if you have got an option of coming to Canada as a permanent resident, take it as first priority. However, if you have to come as an international student, well and good. And it has got its own advantages also. So that when you come to Canada, after you graduate, they have given you many pathways for becoming a permanent resident. You don't have to go back home. You just need to have come under a program that is going to give you a pathway for permanent resident. And also it's going to give you a postgraduate work permit, and then this postgraduate work permit is going to allow you maybe to work for 2 years or 3 years. After you work for 3 years in a permanent job, which is not seasonal, then you have a pathway for applying the permanent residence. And when you become a permanent resident now, you can go to school in a cheaper way. Let me tell you, if there's anything I would advise people to invest in when you get an opportunity to come to Canada, go back to school. If you're a nurse, if you have started as PSW, which is personal support worker, go do a diploma, go back, do a degree, go back, do a master's, go back, do a PhD. Because the more you are educated, even if you want to go back to your home, not only I don't know whether EBM had planned to talk about refugees and asylum seekers. I always tell you that in Canada, when you come as an asylum seeker, you have got a whole 2 or 3 years that you're enjoying Canada government resources for free. In this time, you are allowed to even go back to school. Don't go to work. Go back to school. Go build yourself. In these 3 years, by the time they decide whether they're giving you or they're not giving you, you already have your degree. And they look at you like this, and when they're making the decisions, they'll think, this one, he doesn't have a reason to go back, because you are a resource to the government. They see a degree and they're thinking, this is workforce. But when you come here and you're doing shoulder jobs, I'm not saying there's any shoulder job, but if you come here as an asylum seeker and you're not focused, you may end up with the 3 years and they tell you, go back home. These 3 years, they are giving you just to assess, to see what you're thinking and what kind of a person you are. When you come here, you start eating government resources because there's a lot of money, free money for the asylum seekers. You come here and start to decide to enjoy that money and not think about your future, my friend. They will think this one came here just to eat our money. You will be returned back to your home country. So when you get an opportunity to come to Canada, make sure that you use it wisely. Study. The more you are educated, even if you ever want to go back to Tanzania, to Kenya, to Asia, whichever country you want to go back to, you are fully equipped. When you go back to Kenya, for example, if there are people here watching me from Kenya, Safaricom will be looking for you, my friend, to become their CEO. Because when you have got Canada education, you are a cream on top of the cake. Everybody wants to recruit you. The UN, these 5, the big 5, they want people who are educated in Canada. So education is very, very key. Some of us did not chase that. Maybe we didn't have anybody to advise us, but we are encouraging that it is possible. It's never late for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, the work permit, when we compare, I want to just put emphasis, when we say most of the international students in other countries are just in the limbo, do not know what's going on. In Canada, you have so many pathways to become permanent resident. In the US, for instance, or even Europe, is very, very difficult. One, just by having, when you finish, they give you 1 year. If you are science, you are given 1.5 years. And just because you're having a job, there is no that we are going to sponsor you. The company, if you have what we call OPT, optional practical training, which is 1 year, you finish, the company must like you first. Exactly. And then they don't apply for permanent residence, they apply for H1 visa. While you are in the H1 visa, then they can sponsor you to get.
Oh my goodness, that's a whole lot of process.
And so that is the number. And while you are in H1 visa with that company, if that company says, from today I'm firing you, which by US law,
anything can happen.
Yeah, they call contract at will. They can fire you or you can quit the job at any time. If they fire you, your H1 visa expires from that day. You have 60 days to go back to your home country. So there are not many pathways. So either you have to get a company which likes you and you are very good to sponsor you, which not many companies prefer that way, because America already has 400 million people here. There are so many people with the same qualifications, and in the end, they have.
And it's a lot of work for the company to process your papers. It's taking a lot of their time, and then they recruit you, and then you go away after that. So,
and then there is also the person like you, speaks Swahili like you, someone qualification, I'm just having an American passport, I'll get that job. So that's
Yes.
why they just move that way. And again, the level of capitalism in the US is at highest level. In Canada, you still have humanity at a certain level when it comes to capitalism. Like there is a social capitalism, but here I'm a capitalist. Why should I bother about you? You don't have work permit. Stay aside. I'll just deal with the person with the work permit. So almost most of the companies' job advertisement in US, they're at, we are not sponsoring for green card or for one. So that's a big challenge. And another one is there are those, unless otherwise you have PhD, they are called, it is just like you can apply on your own, but you must be very, very educated, very, very skilled, which very, very few people. You have to get you have done certain projects, like it's called employment based. So there are certain kind, employer doesn't sponsor you, you apply on your own based on your employment, but you have to prove so much. Like you are already teaching to the university level. So, oh, you have done this kind of project. There is a friend of mine has done that. So it's very complicated, but in Canada, you have those ones. So that's why if you have the option between the US and Canada or Europe and Canada, Canada is a prime one. Canada, Australia, they have those kind of prime opportunities. But to come to study for your own money, I usually don't encourage that one. I encourage people to apply through scholarships. If you want to pay on your own, go to Scandinavian, because they don't have tuition fees, zero. You pay for living expense, which is 12,000. Yeah. So yeah, people should also look for scholarships, and they have many books. And on my scholarship website, which is EBMSCHOLARShips.com, I usually talk about scholarships. And over there is a book about scholarship. Even if I say PhD scholarships in US, but the same principles can be able to be applied to Europe, to Canada, to any other country too. People can be able to use those opportunities. Okay. Another way which we have to talk is about go to Canada through other ways. Like in the US, people go tourism, people want to come here through maybe conference call meeting, someone wants to go through volunteering or whatever, a conference for religious convention, something like that. So in the US is a very complicated process again to convert from tourist visa or come to a graduation for someone to go to become a US citizen, or I mean to permanent resident and then US. It is impossible. First of all, it's impossible. You have to take many years maybe to go to student or get married or do all other complicated ways. How are the ways in Canada once I come as a tourist, once I come to attend the conference or I come to volunteer? How can I go to get a job? How can I go and if possible come to become a student? How can I later become a permanent resident?
Wow. I think at the moment, Canada is the only country that has got a leeway or a pathway for visitors to convert it into a work permit. And we don't know how long it's going to stay, because for now, they have opened up to 28th of February 2022. It's been there since 2019. Since COVID hit, they opened that pathway, saying that when you come to Canada as a visitor, you can apply for a permanent job through somebody who has got an employer who has got an LMIA, an employer who has got a license to recruit a foreigner. And then after that, then you can get a work permit. And then when you get a work permit, then you work here for at least 1 year to 2 years. And through that, you become a permanent resident. Let me tell you, there is no country that allows visitors to work there. My friend, there's even Kenya. You cannot work as a visitor like that.
I have my passport. I have Kenyan visa. It is very clear. Let me see. What is my passport? Yeah, whether it's in Kenya, whether it's in Tanzania,
you cannot work.
Yeah, it's written over there like it's not allowed for employment.
Yes, it's not allowed for employment. So Canada has opened this door, and that's why on my channel lately I have been marketing visitors visa. So much so before it expires. And especially I feel so sad You see, it's written you cannot work.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Registration required for stay extended period, employment prohibited. That
Yeah,
is,
so I see, you know, EBM,
that
I
is
see
Kenya.
I see people with a Canada visa, visitors
Yeah.
visa or business visa. And
Tanzania,
you know,
employment prohibited. If you get the US visa, not allowed to be employed.
Yeah, I see people with a visitor's visa, and you know, Canada, they give a 10 years visitor's visa with multiple entry, a maximum of 6 months. I know US is 5 years maximum.
No, it's not for every country. It's what they call bilateral agreement. So Kenya and the US have agreement. When Obama went to Kenya, they asked him, so allowed it to have 5 years visa.
Yes, yeah.
Tanzania, when Bush came to President Bush the son came to Tanzania, it was 2008, 2007, 2008, that time. So they have 1 year visa. So even if you ask for 1 day, they give you 1 year. So they haven't, I don't know, they haven't asked for 5 years.
Tanzania, they cannot extend for 5 years. They cannot get a visa.
No, you get 1 year visa.
Ah.
It used to be 3 months. Maximum.
Oh my goodness, that's so mean.
I mean, yeah. That's why if this is my Kenya visa here is 5 years visa because of the bilateral agreement. I can get 5 years Kenya visa.
Yes, between Kenya and US is 5 years.
Yeah.
But Kenya and Canada is 10 years.
Wow.
My friend, 10 years. And I see people with those visas in Kenya asking me, Joyce, how can I come? I have got a visitor's visa for 10 years. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Do you know what you're putting on? So those people, we are telling them, take a flight. But even if you have a visitor's visa, which is valid, remember you have to have a reason to come again to Canada because of port of entry. At the port of entry, they are going to ask you, why are you coming back here again? So you must look for a conference or you have to get an invitation. I always tell people that you do not necessarily need somebody to invite you. You don't need to know Joyce to invite you. I have that, like the video that I did today morning on my channel. I have given you the conferences that are available for 2022, a list of the provinces for 2022. Who is going to give you such kind of information? I have shared you the list of the conferences that you can book. You just pay maybe to pay $100 or $150 and get that receipt. That receipt is your invitation. That's what you apply to the embassy. And the Canada embassy, unlike the US, you don't go there physically. You just do everything online. I have done a very good video on how you can, the documents that you can submit to Canada embassy to increase your chances of getting it. I always say you don't need an agency to apply for you because they are charging a lot of money. I know I have one who comes to my channel, but you don't need to pay them. If you can do it by yourself, my friend, save that money. Just listen to our videos keenly, follow our instructions, apply by yourself, and leave it to God. So once you come here, you have got that pathway for changing it to work permit. And also, besides that, if you also have got maybe challenges back in your home country, your life is in danger, do not allow yourself to die there. Canada is one of the third peace countries whereby you can come surrender your life, tell them that, please protect me because back home, my life is in danger. It's not as, I don't know why people fear talking about asylum and refugee. It's in the Canada government has talked about it publicly in their IRCC website. So we are here to tell our people that if your life is in danger, if you are in this group of LGBTQ, the men who marry the men, the women who marry the women, if your life under political reasons is in danger, if you are facing female circumcision, if you are forcing early marriages challenges and your life is in danger and your country cannot protect you, Canada is one of the countries that protect such people. It's not up to me to give you your permission to stay in Canada. It's not up to me. The magistrate is going to listen to your case. If they find that you're genuine, because you have to be speaking the truth, you have to provide evidence. If they find that your case is genuine, they allow you to stay. If it's not genuine, they tell you to go back to your home country. You tried anyway. You tried.
But the good thing is, until the decision is going to be made, is not today.
Yeah.
You have been there for at least a year and a half, 2 years.
My friend, 3 years.
Yeah.
And during these 3 years, they are giving you some stipend money. They have allowed you to go back to school. They have given you a work permit. So even if they ever tell you to go back after 3 years, my friend, if you are a wise person, you know what we are talking about. You'll have accumulated something for yourself.
Those are very, very good inputs.
Yeah.
On my end, those are most of the questions we have exhausted. Almost a lot of questions. I don't want to make people go crazy. I want people, first of all, to go and subscribe to Joyce K in Canada.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Canada, that is the only channel for East African YouTubers.
Wow. Thank you.
Even African YouTubers who are only dedicated 100%
Yeah.
with videos about Canada. And
Thank you.
3 times a week dedicated to go live stream. And
Yes.
she's going to do live stream 3 to 6 hours like in one session. Like
passion for my people. I want my people to find a way for coming.
Yeah, so I'm really very proud of you, and I really appreciate what you are doing. And for those who do not know, yourself, you went through this process. So you are not, apart from knowing, you have experience on the first hand. So that is another credibility for people to know that, okay, this person is not just talking from vacuum, it's talking the practical things.
It's a journey I have walked, and I always say that any information that we have shared here is not in any way legal advice. In case you need legal advice, you go under IRCC, find a lawyer, find an immigration consultant, consult IRCC itself. They have their email, they have their phone numbers for clarifications. So we are only here to share our life paths that we have walked, our friends' life paths, and just to enlighten you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I really appreciate for what you have been doing. I will give 2 things. One, if you have any question for me, that will be the first part. Of the second part, your last word overall.
My last word is that we are dedicating to helping anybody who is interested in hearing about coming to Canada. That is my passion. I think God has called me to do this. I believe so. So just come subscribe to our channel. I am only on YouTube. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not active on Facebook. So I'm only on YouTube. Come and subscribe and watch our videos. You're going to learn so much. And then in case you need to meet me one-on-one, like the way me and EBM are talking, come on my live streams on Joyce K Content Creation, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday.
Thank you so much. Any question for me?
For you, it's just appreciation, EBM. We cannot thank you enough. Guys, EBM is one of my mentors. He has mentored me. I was not like this, guys. This is the guy behind this success. So I want to appreciate you so much for what you're doing. My friend, you're helping so many people. People have known you. Everybody now knows you. And we appreciate what you're doing. Only God can bless you for what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I cannot put it much, but I really appreciate for what you have been doing. May God bless you. I will be back to your channel. And anytime you'll be invited again here.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.